is an organization dedicated to establishing and protecting the rights of all animals to live their own lives free from human exploitation. We believe that animals are, well, we know that animals are individuals that have a right to their own life for their own reasons. We work in 4 main areas, which are food, clothing, experimentation, and entertainment. But we also do work in other campaign areas such as companion animals and wildlife. And our motto is that animals are not ours to experiment on, eat, wear, use for entertainment, or abuse in any other way. I have been with PETA for about 6 years now, and my role involves getting our message out to the press in both the UK and certain other European countries. I oversee a database of volunteer translators. I work with fashion companies on special projects that will spread the message to their audience as well as ours. And I also guest lecture at universities about the use of animals in the fashion industry and vegan material innovation. So raising awareness is a key part of what we do, as our goal is to shift mindsets and get people to think differently about animals. So there are many different ways that we raise awareness. Obviously, from my point of view, one of them is press. So through our creative press stunts and campaigns, we get a lot of eyes on our work. We also work with celebrities. We're lucky to have some amazing celebrity supporters who lend their names and faces to our campaigns. We have a thriving digital media department that works on spreading the word through our social media channels and through communicating with our supporters through email. We do maybe some of the things that we are most well known for are our eye-catching protests and actions that we do in order to get people to talk about the issues and bring dialogue and awareness to the problems. Funded through donations. So we, as I said, we at PETA UK work mainly on changing perceptions and shifting mindsets for people to realize that animals have a right to their own lives. And our goal is ultimately mainly for consumers to step away from animal-derived products, but also for brands to take a stand against animal cruelty and move towards vegan options. And in the different campaign areas where we work, we've had a lot of success doing that. If we look at food, countless restaurant chains, supermarkets, other establishments have brought vegan menu items and provided vegan options for the growing market of people who want to try eating plant-based. And we have worked behind the scenes with many companies on doing that. If we look at fashion, over 300 brands have banned the use of Angora, which is a kind of rabbit wool, and also mohair, which comes from goats, after seeing exposés and investigations from different PETA entities into what goes on in those industries. We have also worked with several brands who have stopped using fur in their ranges, many brands that have phased out certain animal tests. And every day we hear from people who have decided to go vegan, to stop wearing fur and animal skins, to stop going to zoos and circuses and amusement parks that use animals, all because of something they saw on our website or through our communication. So lots of progress and many victories. I believe that, especially with social media, it's so easy these days to spread a message, to get people to learn more about a specific issue in a matter of minutes. So more and more people are aware of what goes on behind the scenes at industries that exploit animals for different human uses. And also it's easier than ever for people to actually go vegan and stop participating in this cruelty. And we help with that also by providing a free vegan starter kit on our website, which offers tips, recipes, advice to people who want to try living vegan for 30 days, which is another way that we try to show people just how easy and effortless it can be. So when there were national and international lockdowns, obviously one thing that we have not been able to do is to hold our protest actions, which is something that we do quite frequently during the year normally. But we have returned to them as and when restrictions have eased. But throughout the pandemic, we have tried to be more creative especially in speaking about how our treatment of and relationship with other animals affects world events like these. For example, we've spoken a lot about how slaughterhouses and meat processing facilities are not that different from the live animal markets where the virus is believed to have originated. And how, for example, also the fur industry, there have been outbreaks of COVID-19 on fur farms in so many countries, leading to closures of farms in many countries, which has also prompted us to call for permanent fur bans, to ask for designers to stop using fur, and for people just to realize that the way that we view and treat animals today is not only cruel and unethical, it's also harming both the planet and now our own health. As restrictions allow, if we can, we always try to, well, we always have a number of protest actions throughout the year. I don't know if they can be classified as events, as sometimes it's not a huge gathering or anything, but something that we do quite regularly is, for example, our protests at London Fashion Week, where we're usually calling for a ban on fur, exotic skins, or we're doing something to raise awareness of materials like leather or animal skins in general. We also, right now, we do a lot of campaigning around the forced swim test, which is a very cruel test that many universities use, where mice are forced to swim in a beacon of water to see how long they'll keep swimming until they give up, which is something that's used to test depression medication. So we are raising awareness of this by holding physical protests around the areas where the universities are. And these are just a couple of initiatives that we hold throughout the year. Some other things that we do that could be maybe seen as digital events that are much happier are our awards that we do. For example, we have a vegan food awards every year where we celebrate restaurants, supermarkets, food companies that have come up with amazing vegan options, and there are more and more every year. There's just so much to choose from. And we recently released our fashion awards, which is also a celebration of companies, designers, individuals that have made progress for animals in the fashion industry throughout the year. And these aren't events in the sense that something happens, like it's not a physical event or anything like that, but it's a yearly kind of recurring thing that we do to celebrate the progress that's actually happening. Everything is usually on our website, peta.org.uk. If people want to help out with protests, they can go to the website and join our action team, which means that we'll let them know when we're planning something in their area. We send out a media alert to journalists shortly before the protest to let them know that this will be happening, that might be of interest for them to cover, for photographers to come, and yeah, that's usually how we communicate details around the protests. So there are quite a few PETA entities. So PETA US is the first one that was founded, and aside from them, there's also obviously us, which is PETA UK, and then there's Germany, India, Australia, Asia, there's PETA France, PETA Netherlands. I might have forgotten someone, but there's quite a few PETA entities. So I would say if you look specifically at us and PETA US, the biggest difference is that we're much smaller. They have several offices, they have many, many more people working there. It's a much bigger team. And as such, obviously, they are able to maybe do more things. They have more resources than we do. We're a much smaller team. But the campaigns that we work on are the same. Our focus is the same, our targets is the same. So it's different entities, but we all have the same goal, which is achieving animal liberation.